In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA bets for Monday, January 20th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our Monday, January 20th, MLK Day NBA bet slate here. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetChefD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 8.96 thousand subscribers. You guys, this is the road to 10K, and we're well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you're already subscribed, continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm so we can grow to a much broader audience, and I can keep bringing you this free content. All right, free content, fire plays, and that's what we're here for, trying to grow a community here and take it to the next level. All right. Now, before we go into the slate, if you want to sign up for the Patreon, not only will you get daily plays, you're getting future plays, and you're getting access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. Speaking about the futures, we're gearing up for Monday night, the college football championship game. If you were in the Patreon, you're already good. You would have had your money on Ohio State, which I gave out, and you would have had your money on Notre Dame, which I gave out months ago. All right? If you want to know who I think is going to win the game, you sign up right now. Click that link down below, and you find out who is going to win the national championship on Monday night in college football. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. In Spectrum Center here, we have the Charlotte Hornets 10-28 going against the Dallas Mavericks 23-19. Looking at the current odds for this game, we have the Mavericks kicking things off -225 as road favorites, with the comeback of the Hornets at a +180, point spread at a 5.5, total points at 222.5. Public bet percentage here, 83% of the bets, 97% of the money all over Dallas in this one. For the point spread, 60% of the bets, 64% of the money on Dallas to cover. And for the total, we have 88% of the bets, 93% of the money here on the over 222.5. All right. Looking at the injury report for these two teams, Dallas Mavericks, no Dwight Powell, no Jaden Hardy. Game time decision on Derek Lively. Dante Exum is out, and Luka Doncic is out. Luka Doncic has been out for a while now. So far, these outs are pretty regular. Kyrie Irving is back for the Mavericks. That's a huge positive. Charlotte Hornets, TJ Saloon, the forward, is going to be a game time decision here for the Hornets. So Hornets are pretty healthy here, coming in with their three-man guys, LaMelo, Miller, and Bridges here. And it's going to be a very fun and up-tempo type of battle here between the Mavericks and the Hornets, all right? This is the first time meeting. In the last 5 games, it has gone 3 games to the Hornets, 2 games to the Mavericks. Obviously, the Mavericks have gotten better the past couple years. And as you can see, they took the last 2 games. And the majority of these games, 4 out of the last 5 games, have gone over the total here of 222.5. We have some big totals here. 130 to 104, 118 to 124, 129 to 108, all over that 222.5 number there. And that's really because this Hornets defense has never improved the past couple of seasons as well. So the over here is looking like very juicy one here, where I think it's going to be more of an up-tempo type of environment. That's the kind of the pace that the Hornets play at. really up-tempo, fast-flowing basketball, and no defense. So that's why it's usually a back and forth there. So over on the 222.5. Mavericks getting Kyrie Irving back and them really handling the OKC Thunder. I like that turnaround that I've seen there. Hornets have been playing better basketball. They beat up on the Utah Jazz and got a win over the Chicago Bulls. But this is a different animal here. Even without Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving and this Dallas Mavericks team here is going to be enough. I'm going to take the Mavericks on the money line. We're not going to get greedy with the point spread. So Mavs on the money line and the over 222.5. In the Madison Square Garden here, we have the New York Knicks 27-16 going up against the Atlanta Hawks 22-19. Looking at the current odds for this game, we have the New York Knicks minus 275 on the money line with the comeback of the Hawks at a plus 220. Point spread at a 6.5. Total points at 235.5. Public bet percentage here, no data yet right now on that money line, but point spread, everyone here is on the Atlanta Hawks. 73% of the bet, 79% of the money, sharps and public on the underdog. For the total points, 86% of the bets, 86% of the money towards the over 235.5. Looking at the injury report here for these two teams, starting off with the Atlanta Hawks, we have a game time decision on Jalen Johnson, game time decision on Trae Young. Larry Nance is out. Zachary Russashear is out, who actually beat the Knicks single-handedly in that first matchup, and then Cody Zeller is out. So that's a big out right there with their rookie Russashear at power forward. And then we got two question marks with Jalen Johnson and Trae Young. New York Knicks, game time decision on Josh Hart, game time decision on Karl-Anthony Towns, and Mitchell Robinson out, and Kevin McCullough is going to be out as well. All right, so we're waiting on news on Josh Hart and Karl-Anthony Towns. We'll see if they're going to be able to give it a go. But a major out there, Russashear, he's out. And then we're going to wait on news about Jalen Johnson and Trae Young. These two teams have already played twice this season. Both of those games, shockingly, have went towards the Atlanta Hawks. Both of those games, the Knicks were up and the Hawks came back. All right, so this is the third matchup here between these two teams. And they kept the line pretty much around the same, okay? This line right now is at 6.5. The previous game was at a 7.5 and a 237. And then the game before that was at a 6.5, just like this game here. And the over was at 226. All right, so the 237 was a little bit too high. They brought it down to 235. You think it would have gone down a little lower just because of that last matchup was only 208 points. No, they brought it right back to this number of 235. If we're looking at these two matchups here, they've tended to go over the total, especially when the Knicks won the game. There have been, it was around 230 plus points each time. All right, so the total definitely is leaning for the over, because I think the Knicks here are in a big revenge spot here. Twice times you lost in heartbreaking fashion here to the Atlanta Hawks. And I like the Knicks here to bounce back at home against this Hawk team that just really has been an annoyance for them. Russashear is going to be out. That's going to be a big bump here. Hopefully we can get good news on Josh Hart and Karl-Anthony Towns. This is going to be a complete sweep. This is a perfect spot. I like these type of games to attack the team that really, technically, this is the better team. They lost to them twice. Give me the Knicks full sweep. Knicks money line. Knicks to cover the 6.5. Keep this number now. And I like the over 235.5. In Toyota Center here, we have the Houston Rockets 28-13. Going up against the Detroit Pistons 21-21. Looking at the current odds for this one, we have the Rockets at home. Big favorites here. Minus 350 on the money line with the comeback of the Pistons at a plus 260. Point spread at a 7.5. And the total points at 223.5. Full game public bet percentage here. 90% of the bets, 99% of the money towards the Houston Rockets here. For the point spread, we have 65% of the bets, 64% of the money for the Rockets to cover. And for the total points, 81% of the bets, 85% of the money here towards the over 223.5. All right, now, these two teams, looking at the injury report, Detroit Pistons, Jaden Ivey is going to be out yet again. He won't be back until March, they're saying, estimated time. And then Houston Rockets, Amon Thompson is game time decision, and Jabari Smith is still out. He's supposed to be coming back around March as well. All right, now, These two teams have already played earlier in the season, and that was a very close game there. Houston Rockets won by 2 points in that game there. Rockets won on the road. Pistons covered the 4.5, and the under hit at 218.5. The under hitting was pretty much a shock here, because usually between these two teams, the total goes over. As you can see in the last 5 games, the total of 223 has went over at 3 out of the last 5 times, and that 4th time was right there at the number of 222. All right, and the line is at 223.5, so very tightly contested here, but usually these two teams ball out and score over this total here, which they raised from the original line of that first matchup. All right. This game here, I like the Rockets ultimately to win this game on the money line. That's minus 350. But let's see if we can find you some better value. All right. Better value here would be the over on the 223.5. I like the over. And ultimately, I do think that the Pistons can keep it close at plus 7.5. So those are going to be the plays. All right. We're going to go with the over 223.5 as the number one play. And if you want to play it, another value play is the plus 7.5 for the Pistons. In FedEx Forum here, we have the Memphis Grizzlies going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Grizzlies 27-15, Minnesota 22-20. Looking at the current odds for this matchup, we have the Grizzlies at a minus 155 with the comeback of the Timberwolves at a plus 125. Point spread at the 3.5, and total at 235.5. Full game public bet percentage here. No data as of right now for the money line, but for the point spread, we have 58% of the bets towards Memphis to cover, and it's split down the middle 50-50 for the percentage of money on that point spread. For the total points, 83% of the bets, 84% of the money towards the over 235 between these two teams. Looking at the injury report, Minnesota Timberwolves, we have a game time decision on Rudy Gobert. Dante DiVincenzo is going to be out for a couple more days as well, who's been playing much better basketball. And then for Memphis, we have Ja Morant, a game time decision. Marcus Smart out, Vince Williams out, and Cam Spencer is going to be out as well. These two teams just faced each other just about 9 days ago, here. And since then, Minnesota has beaten Washington, lost to Golden State, beat New York, and really took it down to the wire against Cleveland, but came up short in that game. Memphis just swept the San Antonio Spurs in back-to-back games, lost to Houston, and then beat Minnesota and lost to Houston twice, actually. So this game here, I like the Minnesota Timberwolves in this spot to bounce back since they just faced them a couple days ago. I like what I've seen in that game, and I think they definitely have enough to get over a hump in this one, and especially if Ja Morant is out, then that definitely bodes well for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Give me the Timberwolves on the plus 3.5. We're not going to get too greedy here. I like this game to be very tightly contested, and I like the under on this one. So plus 3.5 on the Timberwolves. And then give me the under 235.5. When these two teams meet up, the under tends to hit. The only over was that last game, which was 8 days ago. Every other game before then, under, and under. All right. So if you're not feeling confident with either side, definitely I would take the under on the total points. If not, I'm going to be going with the underdog in the Timberwolves, trying to get back some revenge here on their opponent of the Grizzlies that they faced just 8 days ago. In Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers 35-6 going up against the Phoenix Suns 21-20. Looking at the current odds for this game, Cavaliers at home minus 300 with the comeback of the Suns at a plus 240. Point spread at a 7.5. Total points at 235.5. Public bet percentage here, 98% of the bets and money towards the Cleveland Cavaliers to money line and win. For the point spread, we have 52% of the bets for the Cavaliers to cover, but we have 53% of the money for the Phoenix Suns to cover here. So sharps and public are split here between these two teams to cover. For the total points, 86% of the bets, 87% of the money towards the total of 235 to go over. All right. Looking at this current injury report here for these two teams, Phoenix Suns, Yusuf Nurkic is out. He's going to be out for a couple more days. Bradley Beal is a game time decision. Cleveland Cavaliers are dealing with a couple outs here. Isaac Okoro's out, Evan Mobley's out, Amani Bates is out, and Luke Travers is out as well. All right. Now, looking at the stretch here of games, these two teams have not played so far this season, and the Phoenix Suns have been hot as of late. All right. 4 out of the last 5 games have been wins, but you got to take that with a grain of salt there because this is lesser competition. Detroit was a solid win. Washington is one of the poor teams in the league. Charlotte is one of the poor teams in the league. Utah Jazz is one of the poor teams in the league. They've been dominating lesser competition, and then as you see, when they go up and they face someone actually good like the Atlanta Hawks, they lose. All right. So Cleveland Cavaliers lost to OKC, obviously best team, one of the best teams in the leagues. And Indiana is red hot right now. And that was a back-to-back. Those games tend to split anyway. All right. So this particular spot here, I'm all over the Cavaliers. Love the money line. Love the spread. All right. Give me Cavs money line. Cavs to cover the spread. If we're taking the total, I think this game's going to be a high-scoring environment. I think that the Cavs will put up a bunch of points and force the pace there of the Suns to go up tempo. And obviously, it's going to be a very high scoring game. So that's why I like the over, the cover of the Cavaliers, and the money line of the Cavaliers. In Chase Center here, we have the Golden State Warriors 21-20 going against the Boston Celtics 29-13. Looking at the current odds for this game, Celtics road favorites -300 with the comeback of the Warriors at a +230. Point spread set at 7.5. Total points set at 223.5. Public bet percentage here, no data as of right now on the money line, but for the point spread, we have 51% of the bets coming in on Golden State to cover, but sharps coming in 56% of the money on the Celtics to cover this number on the road. For the total points, 88% of the bets, 85% of the money towards the over 223.5. Looking at the injury report for these two teams, Boston, Drew Peterson is going to be a game-time decision. Everyone else is healthy. For the Warriors, they got a couple guys out here, a couple bench guys. Brandon Paz is going to be out. Kyle Anderson out. Draymond Green out. Steph Curry, game-time decision. And Jonathan Kuminga is out as well. All right, so for this game here, I need to know about Steph Curry. That's the most important person here for the Warriors. In that first matchup, that game went over the total of 230. Over the total of 223 with 230 points. I definitely foresee this game going over as well. Majority of the matchups between the Warriors and Celtics. Obviously, this is a highly anticipated matchup, and these two teams go at it. And especially when Golden State Warriors are at home, they tend to beat the Celtics, and then this number goes over as well. But I need to know about Steph Curry. So this is how we're going to play it. If Steph Curry is in, then I like the over 223.5, and give me the cover of the +7.5. If Steph Curry is out, then we're going to be all over the Celtics. That's how we're going to play it. Right now, I'm acting like Curry is in. Give me the +7.5 and give me the over 223.5. And into it, Dome here. We have the LA Clippers 23-17 going against the Chicago Bulls 18-24. Looking at the current odds here, we have the LA Clippers -275 on the money line with the comeback of the Bulls at a +220. Point spread at a 6.5 and the total at 232.5. Full game public bet percentage here. No information as of right now on the money line, but for the point spread, we have 84% of the bets, 95% of the money on the Clippers to cover. For the total points, we have 78% of the bets, 66% of the money here on the over 232.5. All right, so looking at this injury report here for these two teams, both of these teams are playing, and this is going to be the second part of a back-to-back. Right now, the Clippers are facing the Lakers, and they're blowing them out. They're going to win by 18 points or more. And then the Bulls are actually losing by double digits here against the Portland Trailblazers. So this is a very, very embarrassing performance here from the Bulls, and they're coming into this game really low. For the injury report, Chris Duarte out, Javon Carter out, Lonzo Ball out, Adama Sanogo out, and Torrey Craig out. All right, the main players here for the Chicago Bulls should be fine here. Vucevic, Giddey, Patrick Williams, Kobe, Zach LaVine, everyone's there for the Bulls. For the Clippers, Cam Christie out and PJ Tucker out. All right. Now, for this particular matchup here, with both of these teams on the second game of a back-to-back here. I do suspect a little bit of value on the Chicago Bulls in this line, especially how they're coming out and performing here. Lackluster performance against the Portland Trailblazers. I expect them to bounce back here in this Clippers game. Not saying money line. No. Definitely, I want to take the points here in the Chicago Bulls. They kind of show up when you least expect it. In the second game of back-to-back, I think they're going to be motivated here against this Clippers team that right now is, I'm not saying that they're hot, but they're definitely trending in the right direction here. Double-digit win against Miami, double-digit win against Brooklyn, double-digit win against Portland, and then double-digit win against LA Lakers here. That's why it's so heavily on the side of the Clippers. Could be a little bit of a letdown spot. Give me the Bulls plus 6.5. I think that this game is going to be close, highly, and definitely back and forth. Give me the over on the 232.5, but the value here is on the Bulls. Last but not least here in Smoothie King Center, we have the New Orleans Pelicans here 11-32, going against the Utah Jazz 10-30. Looking at the current odds for this game here, we have Pelicans big home favorites minus 650 on the money line with the comeback of the Jazz at a plus 450. Point spread set at an 11.5. Total points set at 233.5. Full game public bet percentage here, 97% of the bets, 99% of the money, all over the Pelicans to win. For the point spread, 50% of the bets towards the Utah to cover, and then we got 57% of the money here for the Pelicans to cover. And for the total points, 73% of the bets towards the over, and then 62% of the money towards the over 233.5. These teams just faced each other in the last game here. Injury report for these teams, it actually gets worse for the Utah Jazz. Colin Sexton is out. He played in that game previously where the Pelicans beat them by 13, but now he's going to be out. Johnny Juzang is going to be out. Lauri Markkanen is going to be out. Michael Potter is going to be out. And John Collins is going to be out as well. So this team is absolutely decimated here at point guard, at starting power forward, backup power forward, starting center, backup center. It is very ugly here for the Utah Jazz. Pelicans on the other end, game time decision on Zion Williamson, game time decision on DeJounte Murray. Brandon Ingram is still out for a couple more days. Yves Missi is going to be a game time decision, and Herbert Jones is going to be out as well. Now, this Pelicans team here is turning things around with the acquisition of Zion Williamson. That's a big positive spot. Usually in back-to-back games here, I like to go opposite, but this particular spot here, you cannot trust the Jazz here. They're sitting literally everyone, and they're starting G League players here in this game here. Pelicans had a horrible start to the season, and they need to definitely turn up here and get these wins racked up. And maybe they have a really decent push here coming in the second half of the season as well. So give me the Pelicans on the money line. Give me the Pelicans to cover the 11.5. And the only thing I think opposite that's going to happen here, I think the Jazz struggle scoring, because in that last game with Colin Sexton, he scored 24 points and really provided very good, solid minutes there. He led the team in minutes with the starters there with 31. He's not going to be playing. I think they struggle scoring the basketball. And give me the under on the 233.5. All right, so those are going to be our selections for MLK Day. Let me know in that comment section down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? We can definitely debate about that down below. If you guys want to sign up for the Patreon and get the winning plays, you go to the description section, you click that link, get connected. You're getting access to future bets, daily bets, and access to that group chat that goes out 24/7. This is your boy Chef D. I'll be back very soon, and peace out.